cast iron skillet, butter, fresh from the Gulf, red snapper. Oh yeah, blackened seasoning. That's bacon drippings, butter, and some grits. Today we're going to show you how to make something good. I'm going to pass the camera to Caitlin. And welcome to my kitchen. Oh, wait a minute, my urban kitchen. So, let's get started. Come over this way, Caitlin. Now, the one thing I love about living in the city is that you have a plethora of incredible neighbors. And my neighbor came over to the house just the other day, and he brought me, and this is only a small portion, about a 10-12 pound red snapper. Absolutely incredible. So I didn't grow up eating red snapper as comfort food, though we did have fish fries all the time. But we're going to draw from my background and the background of Louisiana and Chef Paul Prudhomme, and we're going to blacken some of this red snapper. Now, blackened seasons usually traditionally goes with red fish, but you can have it with any kind of fish. This butter right here is just in the pot to melt because I'm going to pour it in here with this bacon drippings. Butter and bacon drippings. And we'll explain what that's for in a minute. Whoo, about to catch on fire. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a little bit of lemon juice and put it right onto that red snapper. Just a little bit of lemon juice on the red snapper. A little bit on both sides, why not? This is beautiful fish. Absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of lemon juice, there we go. Now, I'm going to take this butter and bacon grease. Traditionally, it's just straight butter. And you just want to put that right on top of the fish. Now, the fish is nice and cold, so it could make this butter and bacon grease congeal a little bit, solidify a little bit, and that's all right because we want it to stick to the fish. And when we add this blackened seasoning and then put it in a super hot skillet, that butter and bacon grease is going to help it brown a little bit, creating a burn. The milk solids and the whey and that butter are going to burn a little bit, and the bacon grease, well, that's just going to taste good. It's going to be sinful. Look at that. Pack this on. Now, I know, I can hear you asking already, what's in the blackened seasoning? Well, if you go to chefscot.com after you watch this video, then you're just going to click on my the link, and you'll see my recipe for blackened seasoning. It's really simple. You can pay for it if you want. You can go and buy a mix of blackened seasoning that's already done up, but it's going to cost you a good bit more. And then you'll have a good bit of spices in the cabinet after you buy each individual spice. I almost forgot that one right there. Look at that. That's a lot of seasoning on that. Now, let me wash my hands real quick. I'm going to put that right over there in that skillet, but not before I add just a touch of this mix to it. Now, we're about to make it smoky in here. I'm going to turn it down. This skillet's really hot, okay? It's about to smoke a good bit. Alright, now, I'm going to go ahead and add some fish in there. Now, I want it to get black. I want it to burn. I'm not afraid of it burning a little bit. But the outside's going to be super black and spicy, and the inside's going to be beautiful. And we had breakfast with the grits, but before we got rid of poured the grits out, I added some Parmesan cheese, Romano cheese, and cheddar cheese, and a little bit of Asiago, and made like a cheese grit cake. Just poured that into a little skillet and just let it get nice and congealed like that. All the starches hold it together. Now, why would you want to save your grits for that? Well, you're about to find out. Now, you're just going to cut this up. Look at that, just like a cake. Daggum, that looks good. And we'll just cut it like so, and we'll call that 2 portions. Now we're going to get our little saute pan here, nice and hot. But while we're doing that, let's take a look at our blackened fish here. Oh my goodness! Let's go ahead and flip that over. Look at that. Now that is why it's called blackened. And that's going to be done in just a couple minutes. It don't take long for this. Oh, it smells beautiful. Look at that nice, beautiful char on there. That's what you want, a little char. My goodness. And that dark, caramelized flavor is going to completely contrast with the fish And then we're also going to serve this with the cheesy grits. Now let's go ahead and put our grits in the pan. Not without, you know, all comfort food does not have to have lots of fat, right? That's not this video, okay? All right, that'll come later. But let's go ahead. Look here. Look here. We'll just put that right in. And that's going to pop and hiss at you just a little bit. We'll move that over a little bit. And we'll put this one into, ooh, them big. And we'll just let them cook just like that. Anytime you have grits left over, go ahead and pour them out into, you can put them in a casserole dish or something like that, and just let them get solid that morning, and then put them in the fridge, and then by that afternoon they'll be nice and hard. You can take them and put them into a pan and cook them up just like that. Now we're gonna let these grits cook probably for about another, I don't know, 6 or 8 minutes. We want them nice and brown on one side and crispy. They're going to be creamy in the middle. Remember, there's milk in there, cheese. All right, I'll give you my grit recipe too. But come look at this over here. Now, also, all day long, we've been working on that right there. That's some red beans. Now, you can't have some blackened fish without some red beans. And usually that comes with rice. But man, I couldn't throw them grits away this morning. There's ham in there and bacon. That looks great. What we're going to do is we'll serve this all up together. We'll give the grits another couple minutes to cook. The fish is done in about 2 minutes. I'm going to take a little bit of salt here before we finish this up. A little bit of salt on the grits and a little bit of salt right there on the fish. And we'll be right back and we'll have some of this. Look at that. Look at them red beans. That ham in there. That's Smithfield ham. Get some of that juice in there. Now we're going to go with a grit. Now a couple pieces of fish. Oh my goodness. And this is how we do it. Listen, I appreciate you stopping by my urban kitchen. Come by anytime. Let's eat.